tutorial starts with a song, but it's only a few seconds long.
Computer animation. Computer animation. Computer animation.
Let's get started with animation. 3000. 3,000 subscribers to this channel. Amazing. Thank you. Today we'll model a leaf. Modeling a leaf sounds maybe trivial and easy, but it involves something which is a little bit tricky about the texturing. And I'll show you two ways to pursue this task, and one basically fails and the other one succeeds. Okay, so let's start with the straightforward first one, which makes us run into a problem. First of all, we need, for both cases, a leaf. And the typical source I would use is Wiki Commons. So you type in your search engine Wiki Commons and you get here, Wikimedia Commons, that's called. And all of the files here, most of them pictures, but audio files as well, are licensed under the Creative Commons license. But you need to mention the name. So when you type in maple leaf here, you get lots of things. And actually down here you see you can view 500, etc. Anyway, to make this short, I like that one. Maple leaf FCB 981 JPEG. And we need to mention the name of the photographer, and that's the user FCB981. Thank you for photographing this nice maple leaf. I like it because it's not totally symmetrical, and it's very clean. The outline is clear because we're gonna create a curve from that, and we have a black background which doesn't disturb us. So we click on it, and with the right mouse button we save it. And you save it to your source image folder. You'll see in a minute where it is. We go to the top window because it's an orthogonal view. And here we want to load what is called an image plane. We go to View, Image Plane, and we import an image. Not a movie, an image. Our maple image. And it's right here. I put it in the source image folder of my current project. So here it is, and I open it. And the nice thing about this background image, which is called an image plane, is that it uses the proper dimensions of that picture. It's basically the picture in its proportions. And now we can start creating a curve. And since this will more or less fail, I'll draw the curve very fast. So let's go to Curves and Surfaces here, and I use this tool here, grab my graphics pen and start following the lines of that leaf like this. It's very crude, but you get my point just in a minute, where I want to demonstrate that this is the direct way to proceed, really. But it doesn't, doesn't lead to a promising result. Okay, so there's lots of overlapping here and we need to fix this, but we'll see this in the second example. I do it more precisely then. Now we would typically go to surfaces here, and you find them under modeling. You need to be under the modeling menu set here to see the surfaces. And you want to create a planar surface. I think this will produce an error message. No, it doesn't. If it does, you need to close that curve, because the planar surface wants a closed curve, and the command to close the curve is right here, open close. Now I have, when I look at in the perspective view, I have a curve and I have a surface. And I'll show you the surface. It's that one. It has the exact outline of our leaf, more or less. I didn't invest much time into drawing it. Now let's apply that texture down here. How do we do this? And that's the tricky thing, really. Right mouse click, we create a new material, go to Arnold, and Arnold's standard surface, and we map the color with our maple leaf, which is a file. So you need to go to File then, and Image Name File. I think this the programmers could make this a little bit more comfortable for us. I think that was, we just took 3 or 4 steps in order to apply this here, and we still don't see it because we need to click here. And now you see what I meant by the problem. Let's delete the background image and our basic curve, and you see the leaf is positioned in the wrong way. Now you can go to in the attribute editor to the what is called place 2D texture of our file here. And you can do things like rotate the frame, because obviously it's rotated in the wrong way. So when you look here, it's typically 180 or 270, so in this case 270 degrees. So that's quite good. Now I need to change the coverage, for example, to 1.4 and 1.4. But it's hard to really adjust properly. When I use interactive placement, I get this where you need the middle mouse button to drag it over your leaf, which is always a bit hard to handle, really. It sort of fits, but it doesn't fit properly. And the main reason for it is that the leaf has the dimensions of that photograph, whereas the curve has another dimension. It has it's more square in our case. The curve from the top, it's more this size here, whereas the image was this size. And that's why you need to adjust a lot of things until you get it right. If you find a hack to apply this properly, just let us know. We create a new scene now, and we try a totally different way to do this. We go back to the top view, and what we'll do is we'll create a NURBS plane. And we need to know the dimensions of our leaf, or we could improvise. Let's improvise. Let us create a new material, an Arnold surface shader, and map the color with our maple leaf, which is a file, which we find here. Oops. 4 steps or even 5, and this one is the last one. So you see that it doesn't fit properly. It's squeezed because it's not a square image, whereas our plane is square. So we can change the dimensions of our plane like this, and we get a maple leaf, which is, I think, quite all right. And we actually can rotate it, so it's a little bit more fun to play with. When we press and hold the key J, we rotate it in segments of, I think, 25 or so degrees. And this is now our starting point. What if you want to have this precise, exact way, just check the dimensions of the original image, and then go here in the NURBS plane scaling and adjust these values here. In our case, we're currently at 11:8. Okay, now we create a curve, and this time we use this tool here, and I'll show you something which is important for modeling. I'll make a little bit more space here. We start down here, and we go here, and now we reach that corner. And when you work with NURBS geometry, you need more points, more control vertices, as they're called, at the edges. And this is one edge. So let's place one here, and one here. Hope you can see this properly. Now we have a little bit more space to go to, but now when we get to that edge here, to that pokey space here, we can go very close and place another one pretty close here until we go back and follow that path. Now this is easy, this is easy, this is easy. You know, NURBS curves and surfaces like a smooth flow. They don't like those hard edges like here. So we need to give them a little bit more, well, geometry in order to create such sharp corners. For example, here, not just go here, place your point a little bit before it, odd it a little bit after it, and then you proceed here. Now I fast forward this because you get my point, I guess. And keep in mind, modeling is sometimes a time-consuming and meditative process. So I'm going down here and down here. I just press enter and now the curve is finished. Now I want to get into a little bit of details. So I press F8 in order to get the control vertices. And I don't want overlapping. Overlapping would have been this, for example. So I would adjust it like this. I think we could have a little bit more geometry right here, more to the edge, like this. That's always very nice to make these cosmetic arrangements. Later here we have an overlapping. You see, you just go to one of the neighboring points, use the arrow keys and just do this. Now the next thing we're going to do is we project that curve on that surface. You might think the curve is already on the surface, but it isn't, because we can move it up like this. No, we want to project it onto that surface to have the curve be an element of that exact surface. So that's what I'm going to do now. I have selected the curve. With the shift key, I additionally select the plane, and then I go to surfaces and project curve on surface. That's all I needed to do. Let's go back to the outliner. That was the curve we did, and I can move it up now, but on this surface is a curve. It's right here. So when we select that surface, we see that there's a curve now. It comes from here, and if we move that curve up here to the side, the curve down here moves as well. You see, this is just an effect we don't want. We want precision here. That's why we want it to be here. Now the last point, the last section here is we want to cut out the black. We want to cut the black away, and that's called trimming. So let's select that surface with a curve on that surface, and we go to surfaces, and right underneath project curve and surfaces is the trim tool. And for the trim tool, you need to read what's in the notification box down here. It says click button 1, which is the left mouse button on the surface, to select the region to keep. We don't want to keep that part. That's the black part. We want to keep that part. And we just click anywhere here within the leaf and press enter. And now we have our leaf as we wanted it. What we'll do now is we'll clean up the scene. We delete the original curve. And we'll delete the history of that one so it doesn't remember where it came from. And that is under Edit, Delete by Type, History. And what is always good, we freeze the transformation. So it basically, it's a brand new leaf, this geometry with a leaf texture, which is right here. We could use a double-sided shader in order to have the leaf on the other side, but the last thing we're going to do now is this. When you press Ctrl A, you see the attribute editor, And the attribute editor tells you a little bit about the geometry of our leaf. And the geometry currently spans u and v is only 1. And that is because we created that leaf from a very simple plane, and it still has the geometry of a very simple plane. So if we want to deform the leaf, we need more geometry here. And we do this by rebuilding that surface. Surfaces, rebuild. And here we need the option box because we have certain wishes how to rebuild that surface. The default is 4x4, which is quite good already, but we'd prefer certainly maybe 20x20. And we apply this. And now you see we have all of a sudden geometry appearing here. And now we can create a deformer. Deform, for example, the sculpt deformer. Next thing you would do is introduce a bump map, and you could use that same image in order to create that bump map. But that's where I want to leave you. Throw the leaf in the air and let it fall down under the wind influence.